welcome back to my channel. It's Aislinn. If you follow me on Twitter, you may have noticed that I also love video games just as much, or almost as much, as books. So I thought I would combine some of those worlds today. And one that has always had my heart since I was a wee child, a small little girl, is Pokemon, of course, which the first game that I ever played was was technically Sapphire. I did also play Crystal and Gold and Red, but I lost my copy of Red, which is a tragedy. Listen, there's nothing I love more than looking at a book character and be like, who would you be if you were a Pokemon? Or if you didn't want to think that way, if you were a trainer, if they were a Pokemon trainer, who would be their #1 OG? Who would be the Pikachu to their Ash? And that's what I'm here to tell you, in my opinion, for the Six of Crows gang. Yeah, you know it. Our lovely crew of the dregs, except just the 6 of them, because I'm sure the actual gang is hopefully a little larger than just them. But you never know, Kaz works in mysterious ways. So I'm gonna tell you, in my humble opinion, which Pokemon each character would be. And obviously you could disagree with me, but this is what I think. I've done some research, I've put in some thought and time and effort, and I'm gonna share them with you. Obviously there's gonna be spoilers for Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, so if you haven't read them, I guess don't watch this unless you don't care and you just want to see what Pokemon I assign them, because that's highly possible if you like Pokemon and care about what book characters. But anyway, we'll start with Matheus. So for Matheus, good old Matheus Helvar, is that how you say his last name? I don't know. When doing this research, I wanted to find a Pokemon that was very loyal, because obviously he is a very loyal person once he unlearns the racism that he had. Is that the term for it? I honestly don't know. Against the Grisha, and kind of is like, wow, they're not bad people or monsters. And he's just very loyal. So I have decided, again, this is my opinion, that if Matheus was to be a Pokemon, he would be Lycanroc, specifically the midday form, and here's why. The Pokedex entry for it is, when properly raised from a young age, it will become a trustworthy partner that will absolutely never betray its trainer. Okay, I know what you're saying, but Matheus does. He goes against I can't remember the general's name, I don't care, it doesn't matter. He goes against him, and he falls in love with Nina, and they have a great time, and he's a good person. And I'm like, yes, okay, but that's what I mean. Like, he was trained by the bad dude, and then now he's been I hate saying he's been retrained by Nina and the dregs and stuff, but that's basically the mentality, and he's just very loyal. So I would assign him as a Lycanroc. Again, fight me if you want, but this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Next, we'll do Wilin. We'll go to Wilin next. We love Wilin. Wilin Van Eck. And obviously, since he's more musically inclined, I have chosen him to be a Chimico. I honestly don't know how to say it, but Chimico. It's small boy and small Pokemon. Obviously, we know Wilin is not the most aggressive. I don't really think Chimicos either are, but just to give you some context for why I chose this. One of its Pokedex entries are, Chimico makes its cries echo inside its hollow body. When this Pokemon becomes enraged, its cries result in ultrasonic waves that have the power to knock foes flying, which to me translates into, oh, what would it be? Wilin's detonation skills and bomb making? Basically the same thing. Perfect, musically inclined, but then also sends foes flying. I love it. We love the chaos. And also one of its other entries is emitting ultrasonic cries. It floats on winds to travel great distances. And we know that Wilin has traveled great distances with his fellow companions and friends, and I just thought that that was a great application of the Pokedex entry for Mr. Wilin Van Eck, okay? He's also, I'm sure, tough in a fight still. as we see, and I'm sure Chimico could hold its ground if it needed to. Listen, I don't play Pokemon competitively, so don't come for me if that's not the case. Moving on, we will go to lovely Jesper Fahy for next. My love, my favorite of them all. He's like absolutely my favorite character out of the 6 of them. Listen, we love a chaotic queer king, okay? We do, truly. So for Jesper, I wanted to find a Pokemon that would have that same chaotic energy that he does, but is still a good shot, that's good with shooting shit. Not necessarily because Pokemons don't have guns, but like on the same realm. So for Jesper, I have assigned Jolteon, which you may be wondering why. Jolteons don't shoot things. Oh, lo and behold, they do. They shoot electricity, which is just as fucking dangerous as a bullet. So, one of the Pokedex entries for Jolteon is, this is the one from Black and White too, is by storing electricity in its body, it can shoot its bristle-like fur like a barrage of missiles. 1, that's terrifying if that was actually attacking you. 2, that's basically the same as what Jesper does, but with electricity instead of bullets. He's also just so full of adrenaline and energy all the time from pushing down his Grisha power that I was like, wow, the electric evolution plus it shoots shit, great, perfect match. I originally wanted to do it as a Blastoise because of the big guns, cannons on its back, but I was like, Blastoise are like big and lumbery and slow moving, and that's like not Jesper at all, so he's a Jolteon. Sorry, that's just the way it goes. Moving on to Nina Zenik, our lovely Nina. This one took a little bit longer for me to figure out because she's quite a complex character with her Grisha ability that kind of goes dark, and then it's like, how does that apply to Pokemon? There are definitely gruesome Pokemon, but most of them involve ghosts and death, which is sort of along those lines, but like not really what she's doing. So I decided to, if she was Pokemon, she would be Tapu Lele, which is one of the legendary Pokemons from Sun and Moon, the Alola region, and it's actually one of the guardian deities, which is kind of neat. So Nina's up there. She's a legendary Pokemon. Listen. So for the Sun entry, it says this guardian deity of Akala is guilelessly cruel. The fragrant aroma of flowers is its source of energy, which to me just translate into Nina's love of food. Cause like, if it's taking the flowers as food, Nina eats food and loves food. Perfect. So it's also guilelessly cruel, which to me is like what Nina ends up being after she takes, what is it called? Burnham, Panem. After she takes the Jurta Parum. Listen, words are hard. And she kind of ends up having to stop herself from killing some people. So to me, that was how that kind of translated. And then the Ultramoon entry for Tapu Lele is, although called a guardian deity, Tapu Lele is devoid of guilt about its cruel disposition and can be described as nature incarnate. Which is also terrifying, if that was real. But basically to me translates that Nina, again, her accentuated Grisha ability from the Jurta Parum, almost like it starts to kind of make her cruel, and then she can manipulate the dead, which is something that no Heartrender Grisha has been able to do. So that to me kind of translates into that. And she doesn't seem like she's never guilty about taking Jurta Parum, really, from what I remember. She's always just kind of like, I did it to save us, this is my life now, I have this new power, and she kind of embraces it full on. So that's why she's a Tapu Lele. We're almost through the 6 here, bear with me. On to Inej, Gafa. We love Inej. Amazing queen. This one also took me a while because I wanted to find one that fit her throwing ability, but there's obviously, again, there's not very many Pokemon that throw knives. So this is, we had to adapt. We had to stay with the modern and adapt to what was happening around us with this Pokemon situation. So I have finally decided that she would be a Decidueye. So for Sun and Moon, it's Pokedex entry. reads, it fires arrow quills from its wings with such precision they can pierce a pebble at distances over 100 yards. Doesn't that sound like Inej? For Ultramoon, its decidui can knock and fire an arrow at an enemy in 1/10 of a second, so its battles are decided in the blink of an eye. This is the sword definition because you can trade it in. As if wielding a bow, it launches the arrow quills hidden among the feathers of its wings. Decidui's shots never miss. Well, if that didn't make it obvious, I don't know what will. And again, Inej may not use a bow. I mean, Decidui doesn't. It uses its own goddamn wing. I am 100% confident that she is as precise with her knives as a Decidui is with its arrows. Listen, case in point, judge and jury, case closed. She's a Decidui. What else do I need to tell you? And last but not least, for the boss man, the king of the crows, as we will call him, or the dregs, I guess, because that is I forget that that's their actual like gang name, and I'm just like, yeah, the Crow Crew in my head. The Crow Crew. Listen, Lee Bardugo, rename them the Crow Crew because I think that alliteration is fun. Anyway, for Kaz himself, listen, I immediately was like, oh, he's a Thievel from Sword and Shield. Because one, it fucking looks like him. Two, look at that little mustache, it's so cute. And it felt like the obvious type, but I was like, no, this is too obvious to be Kaz. So I had to do some more research, I had to do some more digging, and lo and behold, I found, well, it's not that I found, I knew this Pokemon existed. Kaz is a haunch crow. Listen, again, you may fight me on this, but hear me out. One, it's a big boss Pokemon. That's literally what it's titled, called, whatever the label is. I can't remember. It's big boss Pokemon, man. And Kaz is the big boss. It's Pokedex entry. I did go back and find some others, so bear with me as we go through. Again, Ultramoon. It will absolutely not forgive failure from or betrayal by its goons. It has no choice in this if it wants to maintain the order of the flock. For Sun, a single cry from this nocturnal Pokemon and more than 100 of its Murkrow cronies will assemble. I mean, I know Kaz may not have 100 dregs at every moment of the day, like aiding him, but pretty much the same thing. Also, he like solely operates at night. Actually, I don't know if he sleeps. Very rarely do we get evidence of him sleeping. But anyway, and from Alpha Sapphire and Y, we have becoming active at night. It is known to swarm with numerous Murkrow in tow. So listen, do I need to further prove to you that Kaz is a haunch crow? I know I wanted it to be a Thievel just as much as you did. Listen, in my sword playthrough, I used a Thievel and I named it Kaz because I was like, it's him, but it's not really. He is truly a haunch crow. He may not be as robust as a haunch crow is, but Kaz is truly one deep inside. That's the Six of Crows crew as Pokemon. Let me know if you agree, disagree, if you just watch this for the fun of it and don't actually play Pokemon. Let me know. I just wanted to remind you of the Black Lives Matter and other links that are down below in my description. Please don't forget to click on them and support any way you can, whether it's donating, signing petitions that still need to be signed, sharing these resources with people around you, and also educating yourself. It's really important that we keep this going and that we're always moving to better ourselves. And don't forget to support your Black booktubers and creators as well. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to see more bookish and video game content coming. I'm planning on doing a lot more in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!